We're going to speak now to Eyal Hulata, Israel's former National Security Advisor and Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy. Thank you for coming on the programme.
Thank you, Luis.
So with US Secretary of State Antony Blinken arriving, what difference do you think this will make?
Well, I mean, Secretary Blinken is in the region that's very important. I think the convention in Riyadh, the World Economic Forum, is an important venue. There are many things to be discussed between the countries. Of course, Gaza being one of them, normalization with Saudi Arabia is another. I hope that the message that will come with Saudi Arabia to Hamas and to the countries that can influence Hamas, Qatar, Egypt mainly, will be to push Sinwar to agree to the hostage deal with the terms on the table so that there could be a ceasefire. I've heard your correspondence before. It is not the Americans will have the impact on whether or not Israel goes into Rafah. It is actually Hamas. The ball is in their hands. Sinwar has been preventing a hostage deal so far. Hopefully, he will agree to the terms on the table. There will be a ceasefire, and Israel will not need to go into Rafah.
And do you think that will happen?
I have to say, unfortunately, that I'm not very hopeful. I think Sinwar has been playing hardball all through the time. I think even though the military action of the IDF has been quite effective in surrounding him, this is not enough to make Sinwar feel the time is running out. I mean, he's a very hard enemy of Israel. He will not give the hostages just because we ask him. It will only happen if he feels the time is not on his side. And unfortunately, there is not enough pressure, economic pressure from the Qatari side and physical ability of the Egyptians to shut down the smuggling routes in and out of Gaza. Those things haven't happened yet. And I think that those diplomatic issues can amount the pressure that will ultimately convince Sinwar that he has to agree, he has to release the hostages. It has been more than 6 months and less and less than them are alive.
Can we move on to the issue of Rafah? Do you think it's possible, from a logistical, technical point of view, for the IDF to go in and achieve their military aims and protect civilians?
So first of all, I think what's important for the audience all to understand, Israel will not enter Rafah before all of the civilians have been evacuated from there. It's not only civilians in the streets. There are several field hospitals scattered around Rafah. And the IDF has already said that. The Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that. Of course, the IDF cannot operate in Rafah when about a million civilians in tents are all around the city. So there will have to be, first of all, an evacuation process like we've seen in other parts of Gaza prior in the war, before Israel can operate in Rafah. The significance in Rafah is first and foremost because this is probably the hiding place of the leadership of Hamas, who are refusing all deals. But second of all, as I said before, it must be the smuggling of in and out of Rafah, of weapons, of money, of people, must end so that this cannot be happening again, and the radical groups in Gaza cannot amount all those weapons.
Eyal Hulata, thank you very much for coming on the programme. Thank you.
You're welcome.